It's homie time.
Hey guys, welcome back to 59 Gaming. It is such a pleasure to be here tonight. Today we have a very special guest. He is one of the core members. You guys have been watching him for a very long time, and he's been making our lives so much easier with his amazing translations. We'd like to go ahead and introduce yourself, my friend.
Hey guys, you might know me as Goresh. So, started this channel with a few other guys based off of the podcast. Figured this would be a good series to do, sort of introduce the core members as well as all the other regular contributors to the channel to everybody. So hope you guys are enjoying this series, and anything you want to tell us, please leave them down in the comments below.
Awesome. And again, thank you so much for being here. So the first question that I have for you, what is your favorite gaming franchise? I don't believe I've ever heard you talk about that.
Favorite gaming franchise? Yep, that's... starting off with the bangers really quick. Okay, so I don't know if there's really one in particular, but I do like Legend of Zelda is one of them for sure, because Ocarina of Time was probably one of my favorite games growing up as a kid. I really like the... obviously, I like Mario. Just, Mario 64, Mario Sunshine was really, really good. Big Diablo guy as well. Some Blizzard stuff. I've played WoW for a long time, but I think I'm more so into Diablo. ARPGs are probably one of my favorite genres of games to play. Other than that, nothing else really stands out to me.
I mean, those are all really, really good games. That's surprising, actually. I would have never guessed that you were a Mario fan.
Yeah, so growing up, I did play a lot of Mario 64. Played a lot of like Game Boy Mario games, like Super Mario World, Super Mario Bros., stuff like that. And Super Mario Sunshine, basically up until I don't think I played Galaxy. I think that's when I sort of like fell off of it. But yeah, I do like. I mean, Mario. How can you dislike Mario, right? It's just such a simple game. It's fun.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, no, I completely agree, man. Zelda's sick too. Diablo 3 was pretty good. I definitely enjoyed that one.
A little rocky at times, but definitely fun.
Yeah. So for this next question, what actually brought you to Dokkan Battle? And we could even ask the same question for Legends.
Okay, so for Dokkan, I was actually looking specifically for a mobile game to play, and I didn't really know about Dokkan before I was specifically looking for a mobile game. If I wasn't looking for one, I don't think I would have found it. And I know it was very early on in its life when I found it. I initially started playing the Japanese version back before the global version existed, and then I actually quit because I didn't like it. It was very boring in my opinion. And this was like but this was like during the this was like when the Ginyu Force SR banner came out or something. Like very, very ancient times.
Yeah.
So that happened, and yeah, I was like, okay, whatever. And then I think I came back. Yeah, so I came back. I made my global account during the 1-year anniversary on global because the game was just getting promoted heavily during that time. I was like, okay, yeah, I have some free time. Might as well just try this game out again. And that's the same account that I have now. So it's been basically almost 5 years since then. So
that's crazy.
And for Legends, you said too. Legends, yeah. I mean, so obviously Legends is a lot more recent than Dokkan, and since I was already ingrained into the Dokkan community, not as a creator at that point, but just somebody who's been playing for a long time, and I'm like familiar with the game and gacha games at that point. The new game being announced for Legends, I was like, okay, I might as well just give it a try, and eventually, it just sort of grew on me, and I like the different aspect that it brought to the table as opposed to Dokkan, because it's a much more active game, whereas Dokkan's more passive. So I think they balance each other out well.
True. And I know you have some particular feelings about Legends that most of us share. So,
yep. I'm not afraid to express my opinion.
Yeah, I know. Hopefully they fix him up. Yeah, Legends is pretty cool, but yeah, Dokkan is it's just so easy, man. You just pick it up when you want to and kind of just go about your day.
That's definitely the biggest difference that I think gives Dokkan the leg up in terms of their I guess monetization strategy.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so this is more of a 59 gaming question. What are some of your career goals and goals in general for this project?
So I guess this would sort of fall in with what I've talked to the other core members about, but we basically wanted an extension of our own channel, and even more so than our extension of our own channels, we wanted to make something new. And I feel like because of the fact that YouTube, it's kind of difficult to branch out of what your sort of comfort zone is on YouTube, because it's difficult. It's basically like starting over. So if I'm making content on Dokkan and Legends for the most part, and I want to branch out into something like, I don't know, this new Genshin Impact game that just came out, right?
Yeah.
So if I want to expand into that on my own channel, it's going to basically start me over at zero. And those videos that don't do well on that new game are going to negatively affect my other videos covering my other games, because of the way that the algorithm works. So that's why you see a lot of people who make new channels for new games they want to play. So this channel specifically, it's not just for us to make content on other games, but it's also really starting a business, starting a brand, and it's using our leverage in the community that we've established up to this point, the Dokkan Legends community, sort of Dragon Ball as a whole. And we wanted to, branch out of that while also keeping the roots of the original podcast that we had been running since, I think, like 2019, like December, November, something like that. It's almost a full year at this point.
Yeah.
So building off of that and sort of branching out to more bigger, better things, not necessarily, but just more stuff. And we can get more people involved and sort of grow it as its own community, its own brand. I think that's really what we're trying to do. We're trying to make it its own thing, not just tied to us specifically.
Yeah, no, it's a great concept, and then there's a lot of creators that you guys brought on board, and it's just kind of like a super group, dude. And it's a great idea that you guys are pushing out, and all the ideas that I talked to Nolar about. I'm excited for your future on here. Really, I think that you guys got something really good going on, and I think everybody's just excited.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. I mean, haven't been able to put in as much time as I would have liked recently, just because real life has been like omega busy for me right now. But I'm still trying to put as much time in as I can, organizing stuff. A lot of stuff behind the scenes that you guys don't see. For the podcasts, you see obviously the production value went up significantly. A lot of that has to be organized. A lot of it has to be paid for. A lot of it has to be structured and stuff like that. We got to get people to do all the work. We got to find the right people who also have their own schedules and real lives to worry about as well. So a lot of things going on behind the scenes that you guys might not necessarily see, that all the core members are responsible for that. So keep that in mind.
That's very cool. So with all that in mind, are you going to be playing any games on the channel to kind of, ease off, the Dokkan stuff, the Legend stuff, and, all the business aspect? Are you ever going to jump on the channel and just kind of have some fun?
Yeah, so we did recently play Among Us, and that was my first time playing. And obviously, you can't really not like Among Us, right? It's a casual game. It's fun for everybody. So I actually really enjoyed that. And in terms of like console games or any other games, definitely there's technically 2.5 games that I'm looking forward to. The first one is the new Hyrule Warriors game that's coming out soon. I don't remember if they gave a release date or not, but I played the first one extensively. I had like 600 hours in that first one when that came out. I think it was on the Wii U when it came out. But those Dynasty Warrior style games, I really like those, like the hack and slash kind of games. So definitely we'll be playing that whenever that comes out, and I'll probably end up making at least 1 or 2 videos on that, see how the reception is, and then if people are interested, I'll continue doing that. And obviously Breath of the Wild 2, like I just said, Zelda, I'm pretty big Zelda fan. What else? Diablo 4, whenever that comes out in like 2029, probably play that for a little bit. And then, so right now I've sort of been on and off with Path of Exile. Path of Exile is like another big ARPG game that's sort of been dominating the genre for a few years at this point, just because nothing else is really there. And I basically, since if you don't have time to play a league, and those are like the seasons of the game, during the first like week of it being out, you might as well just not even play. So this past like few months, I really haven't had time to play that much. But this coming league, I might do some content on that just because I want to get back into it. I think the ARPG scene is going to be pretty important moving forward. So that's something I'm looking forward to as well.
Cool, man. Cool. And hopefully we get to see you jump on and just kind of hang out, man. You don't got, I know the works. I think all of us, we could all agree you need a break from everything you've been doing.
I agree. I need that break.
Yeah.
I definitely do.
Yeah, you have not chilled, man. You gotta relax.
Yeah.
Okay. This is more about Dragon Ball. So obviously we all started YouTube for our love of Dragon Ball and just kind of found stuff like that. What was one of your more earliest memories with the series, and like what was the scene you can remember that brought you into loving Dragon Ball?
So if you can see, well, these guys can't see that are watching the video, but you can see what my Discord profile picture is. That's definitely the scene that I think really got me into the series, which is when Nail was fighting Frieza, and Frieza pretty much just stuck his neck out, gets chopped in the neck, doesn't care, rips his arm off, and then just like obliterates Nail. So that like brutality aspect of Frieza as a character, he really brought me in and sort of like got me interested in the series, because I was fairly young when I got into the series. I was probably 5 years old or so. So I was a little kid, and I used to like literally like my parents would give me like an alternative, like, okay, it's either you watch the show or you have dinner, and every single time I would just choose to watch it, and I would just skip dinner. Like that's my early childhood memories of Dragon Ball, and just never sort of grew out of that phase. Like, I never sort of grew out of that phase, I guess.
Yeah, I had a very similar one. Toonami, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's where we all started. It's crazy. Yeah, everyone I've talked to on here, it's always the same story. We all watched it on Toonami. I think only Nolara didn't, because I don't think Toonami was in Canada. But yeah, dude, that's awesome, and that is one hell of a scene to remember. I mean, I remember that scene as well, and it was really good.
Yeah, and especially being like a little kid, that was cool to see that.
Yeah. So this next question is kind of like a double one. What would your advice be for small content creators just starting up? And on top of that, what was it that brought you to actually making YouTube videos?
Okay, so this might sound stupid, but I'm actually not that knowledgeable about YouTube. My channel's still fairly young. I've only been doing it for like a year and a few months. But if I would give one piece of advice, it would be to not get discouraged if your videos don't do well. Because sometimes I have videos that I post, and I'm like, oh yeah, this video is going to do really well, and it ends up getting like a tenth of the amount of views that I thought it was going to get. But at the end of the day, I think it's better to view YouTube as just a hobby or something that it's just fun. Like you do it because you enjoy it, and not for the sort of like hunt of growing your channel to a certain number. I almost never look at my analytics, just because I don't really care about the actual growth of my channel. I care about, am I proud of the content? Did I enjoy making the content? Because half of the battle that I find with YouTube is just making the content. And if I'm not enjoying making the content, I'm not going to keep doing it. And when I first started YouTube, my biggest concern about it was, okay, if I'm going to do this, I want to do it 100%, but I don't want it to become a job. And by a job, I mean, I don't want it to become a chore. Like, I don't want to wake up every morning and be like, okay, I guess I have to make another video today. Like, that's not what I wanted. That wasn't my goal of doing this. So I think if I was to give one piece of advice, it would be to find something that you're passionate about and do videos on that. And if you end up losing passion for it at some point, you probably should stop doing videos on that and find something else that you're passionate about. Because it's always important to keep the interest level high, and it's very easy to tell if you're a viewer, when you don't have passion for something anymore, because it's apparent in your voice and your attitude and the way you conduct your videos. Everything is just it's so obvious. It's telegraphed if you don't have passion for what you're doing.
Yeah, no, that's very true, man. It's very true, and that's super amazing advice. And thank you so much for sharing that. So, since it was like a year and a couple months, what was it that like the initial login to YouTube? What was the reason for it?
So I've sort of had this account for a while. I think I posted the first few videos I ever posted. I believe it was just to share with friends, because back then, this was like, I don't remember what year this was. I think it was like 2017 or 2018 or something like that. There was like 20-minute long videos. My friend was like, oh, you should post showcases of this. This is for Dokkan. They're like, you should post showcases for like Extreme Int or Super Strength or whatever. So I would just take the team through Boss Rush, record the video on my iPhone screen recorder, and then upload it to YouTube. And they're just like no thumbnail, no commentary. It would just be literally just gameplay of the team going through an event. And that was literally like my first like 10 videos or so that I uploaded to the channel. And I didn't really care about making the channel. It was just a tool that I had to be able to show my friends different clips of things. And then the real like part of me uploading to the channel consistently started during Legends' first anniversary, because I had uploaded a few videos just out of fun. Like, again, I did all that I do with this channel is for fun. I don't want to treat it like a job or anything like that. And those videos ended up doing, like, I don't know, it blew up. Somehow it blew up, and somehow I was like, okay, like, let's calm down. It's getting like 50K views on like my first like real week of videos I uploaded, and I was like, okay, like this is pretty nuts. I guess people really like this content, and like people are commenting on it, like blah 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 blah. And I think the real reason for that was because I had such a big social media presence going into it, and people were just familiar with who I was already. So that really propelled me and gave me I guess a morale boost to keep doing it. And I guess from there I just kept doing it, and eventually, a year and a few months later, here we are today. So it worked out for me.
Yeah, it did.
Sometimes you just gotta ride the wave, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And congrats on the 100K, man. That is a huge feat. And
I appreciate that. Thanks.
No, of course, man, of course. And everyone's happy. Of course, like you're killing it, dude. I mean, you've been killing it for a long time, and you help out this community more than a lot of people do, and it's really appreciated, man. So again, thank you for that.
No problem.
Of course. And then now I have 2 questions left. This question, I mean, this was kind of blurted out on a live stream one time. So, how long have you been boxing for?
Okay, so yeah, I've been doing it for a long time, but I haven't been doing it recently because of obvious reasons. But when did I start? Probably, I gotta think. Probably back in like 2000, like mid 2000s, like 2005, 6, 7. That's when I started. No, it's probably earlier than that. It was gotta be like 2002 or 3 when I started. And then eventually worked up to becoming like a fairly decent, not I want to say fighter because I wasn't a professional or anything like that. But I initially was just doing it for fitness reasons, right? And eventually, you get to a point where you've been doing it for so long that you really want to just see how well you can do in an actual fight, right? That's just like, something you want to do once, and you're like, okay, I have the experience, I'm done now. So eventually what happened was the trainer that I was training with, his brother was a professional, he was a light heavyweight fighter, professional light heavyweight fighter. So he needed sparring partners. I think he wasn't anybody famous. He had, I think his record was like 10-0 or something like that. So I was his sparring partner, and I sparred with him for many months, and that was pretty much my exposure to the sport. And as a kid, like back then I was a kid, I really enjoyed it, and I don't know, it just sort of became part of my identity. And I guess I don't even know how people found out about that. I never really talked about it. But that's that, I guess. There's the story. If people want to know, I guess.
Yeah, no, I was always interested. So, did you ever have any like amateur fights, or it was just kind of?
No, I didn't. I was just mostly just sparring.
Okay.
And yeah, mostly. I mean, I fought against professionals, but it was sparring in a sparring environment, right?
Yeah. Okay, no, dude, that's awesome. No, boxing is an amazing sport, and it's honest. I mean, like you said, fitness. You could be very.
Yeah.
Every boxer is super fit. So, I got one last question. This was kind of a funny one. So, how was homie time invented?
Okay, so there's a few layers to this. The first layer is just the homie thing by itself, which was a phrase that was coined by Truth, because like every time he would reference me in his videos, he would call me the homie, and that sort of became its own thing. And I'm still waiting for the merch to come out. I keep telling him to make merch about it. So if you guys are watching this video, let him know we want the merch. But yeah, the homie time part. So Toon Rami, I think this was my first ever collab with Toon Rami, and you know how he does like those crazy intros and stuff.
Yeah.
So he was looking for like a pre-recorded audio clip for every person who was in the collab. And I think this was like a 4-way collab or something like that. So he was one of the Smash Brothers collabs, and when you click on the person that you're collabing with, the little scene plays and they do a voice clip or whatever. And he was like, all right, I want you to think of one thing that you would say if you were picked as a character in Smash Brothers. So literally, like, the first thing that came to my mind was like, it's homie time. I was like, it took me like 5 seconds to think of it. I was like, I don't know, it's homie time. And then he was like, that's good. And then I recorded it, and then like apparently it blew up. So literally took me like 5 seconds to think of that.
You got to make Crit Drop fat.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I do. You're right.
I would buy a shirt. That's pretty good.
Maybe we'll come up with that. Yeah, maybe we'll come up with some merch for that for sure.
Oh yeah, that would be pretty cool, man. That would be pretty cool. No, thanks for sharing that story. I think a lot of us were actually wondering because I always saw that. I was like, "Where's Homie Time from?" But that's actually the last question I had. Do you have any further things you want to say to your audience?
Not really. Just again, this channel is an experiment for us. We're trying to expand out of our comfort zones, trying new things. If there's any recommendations you have for us at all, please let us know down below. And if you have any questions for me specifically, you can ask them, but not too personal, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I have pretty much. Just so.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure. And guys, everyone who's watching, thank you guys so much for the support at 59 Gaming. None of us would be here without you guys. You guys take care, and we'll see you in the next one.